This video will explore how you can use preferred bidding with your Adwords accounts. The default way to bid on clicks, or to bid per thousand impressions, is the maximum cost per click, or maximum CPM, cost per thousand. However, that's not the only way you can bid on clicks, and you may decide that that's not the most effective or relevant way for you. Okay, we're at the campaign summary page. And let's choose a campaign. And let's go with this fairly active campaign, Antique Tables, and edit settings, edit campaign settings. What we want here at the bottom left is advanced options. You can choose keyword bidding options, and you can see that currently it's maximum cost per click bidding. So if we click here, view and edit bidding options, I haven't made any changes, so that's okay. And here you have three options: set maximum limits, which is the default, set preferred bids, or you can use the budget optimizer. I won't be talking about the budget optimizer because it's effectively a tool or feature of Google AdWords that tries to do as much of the thinking for you as possible and basically manage many, if not most, elements of your campaign. So that's not really something that's terribly difficult to use, and if you're having to give up control of your advertising campaigns, you may feel that that's an option for you. But what I'm going to be talking about here is set preferred bids. So for a very quick summary, hold the mouse there, and it tells you a bit about it. You specify the average amount you want to pay rather than the maximum amount. And interestingly, there's an additional note. Enabling the budget optimizer will have the following effects: ad scheduling will be turned off. So keep that in mind if you're using the budget optimizer, but that isn't actually relevant for this example. So, set preferred bids. Save and continue. And now you have three options. Use my average costs. Pause my campaign while I adjust my bids. So if you really want to control this, you may want to choose the pause campaign option and then go back into this campaign and then choose your preferred bid. Or you can go with use my maximum bids as my new preferred bids. So the preferred bids, remember, become your average bids, your average cost per click, effectively, or your average cost per thousand views. So, do you want full control over that? Do you want it to be your current maximum cost per click? Or would you rather have your average cost to date as your new preferred bids? In theory, then, your costs shouldn't change that much going forward, because if that's your average cost to date, then making your average costs the actual cost per click, then there doesn't seem to be much difference there, but you may want to try that out. Okay, there's an important bit of information here. For a new campaign, your preferred bids will be 80% of the maximum bid that you specified. That's because there wouldn't be enough information available to come up with an average cost. Okay, so I'll go with use my average costs as my new preferred bids. Click Change to Preferred Bidding. And your campaign is now using preferred cost bidding. So let's take a look. Now you see that the columns are called average cost per click, average cost per thousand. So everything gets averaged out with this new feature. Let's go into the Antique Tables ad group. And now you can start editing your average cost per click. And here we're in the ad group and at the summary tab. So here it says current bid, preferred cost per click. So again, you see the terminology changes from maximum cost per click everywhere. Default is currently 6 cents, and we can click on edit. Now I've noticed with this feature that I seem to be getting this message a lot, and perhaps you may find this as well. Maybe because this is a fairly new feature at this time. What I simply do is press back and just try again. Edit, and the second time seems to work. Okay, So we can make changes either to the preferred cost per click or at a keyword level in this text box. And remember, the syntax is keyword in the first column. The column is broken up by 2 asterisks, and then the preferred cost per click for that keyword. And actually, I've slightly modified these keywords, so these are at 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents. This one's at 6 cents and 5 cents again. So if I want to turn everything back to the default cost per click, I could just select all this text and delete. I'll quickly do that now for this example. Okay, save. So that's one way you can make edits. Next, if you go to the Keywords tab, OK Current Bid, Preferred Cost per Click. If we click on Edit Keywords, we're taken back to the editing box, and there it is. Okay, let's go back. The other way, of course, is to click on Edit Keywords Settings. If you just click, you see you need to select which keyword you're going to edit. It can be all the keywords if you click there, and that turns all keywords on or off, or just a number of them. I'm going to choose all in this instance and edit keyword settings. And it's basically the same editing choices, just in a graphical and easier to use view. So, preferred cost per click. Let's say, for example, that I'm going to change them all to 5 cents. And click here, and it should copy it across all the other boxes, and it does. Okay, now let's save this actually. Save changes. And it's done. First of all, as you can see, you have to set your campaign to preferred cost bidding, as it's called, rather than going with maximum cost per click and maximum CPM, cost per thousand. And you can set it, of course, as you can set any bid prices. You can set it within the ad group at the Summary tab, and it tells you the preferred cost per click for this ad group. And then you can set it per keyword if you wish, and also, of course, at the Keywords tab. A useful feature when you begin customizing at the keyword level is in this column, the Settings column. And actually, you can click here and hide settings, and it hides all the more specific settings. Or you can show settings, and it tells you the exact settings for each keyword. So, as you can see, 5 cents for preferred cost per click for this keyword, and so on. And more information would show if you edited your keywords even more. For example, with unique destination URLs. If you just want to make a quick change, you can click on Edit here, and you simply edit this keyword. For instance, if we just select the numbers, delete, and save, we are back to the preferred cost per click, as you can see. And for this keyword, the default preferred cost per click is showing. Lastly, I'll also quickly mention that you can make these changes at the ad group level. So if I go to the ad groups view, and there's our Antique Tables ad group, and I'll click and edit bids, I can choose a preferred cost per click as the average cost per click for this ad group. So basically, wherever you can edit the cost per click when you're dealing with the maximum cost per click, which is the default cost per click measurement, you can also do this when you're dealing with preferred cost bidding or average cost per click. And you can even click here, edit all in one box, and you get this view, which is essentially the same thing, just a slightly different way to edit. Okay, let's go back to campaign management and show you quickly how it works on a CPM, cost per thousand basis. Campaign summary. Let's go to our site-targeted campaign. Excuse me, I need to go back. I need to go back to campaign summary. I neglected to change the bid type. So let me select that campaign and edit settings, and let's change it. Bid strategy, maximum cost per thousand bidding. I want to change that. Okay, and I want to change it to preferred bids. And you see, interestingly, with this type of campaign, there's no budget optimizer option. Save and continue. Okay, what am I going to go with this time? Let's go with maximum bids this time. And change to preferred bidding. Okay, that's done. You can adjust your bids now as needed. You may pay more per thousand impressions unless you lower your bids manually. So let's take a look. Here are the ad groups. There's an image ads ad group, which isn't doing much, as you can see, 0 and 0. And here's our other ad group with our text ad. Again, we can just click there and edit this if we choose at the ad group level. Okay, preferred cost per thousand. So now this is the average cost per thousand views rather than the maximum cost per thousand views. So effectively, my costs could potentially go up because this becomes the average. Whereas with maximum cost per click, that's not always what you're being charged because click prices do vary. So with maximum cost per thousand, that's the maximum you would pay, but now this has become the average, and my costs could go up on average. Okay, so we'll keep this the same. I'm not going to change it. Back to the ad group level. Let's go into the ad group. And again, you can click here, click to edit. And you can even set the preferred cost per thousand views bid at the site level. And again, standard syntax, 2 asterisks to break up the columns, and then the new value. So for this example, 0.10 for this site. And there are examples here on the right. Actually, let me just cancel that. Then you can go to the Sites tab and do the same. Edit sites and cost per thousand. And you're taken to the same view, and there are plenty of sites there, as you can see. So as you can see, it's quite a straightforward process. It just involves making one change at the campaign level and then changing your bids where you feel it's necessary and appropriate. And it's important to stress that what you bid becomes the average, so clicks may be higher or lower, obviously. However, you may feel that this method of bidding at the keyword and the site level may be appropriate for the way you want to run your campaigns and manage your advertising costs.